don't lift. You eat crap. You don't sleep.
You're an absolute fool.
You let a wife work. Believe me, you don't have any more authority in the house.
And he's watching right now. This fool.
Absolute fool.
This feeling of just conquering.
You apply these three things, you'll be productive
$1 million, yeah.
in 1 year. In 1 year. And you achieve it, Alan.
How?
You got your bread in Bhai.
A lot of people might take this out of context.
That's
That was his
insane.
actions.
Think about my haters every single day.
I'm looking at it thinking, bro, I feel sad for you.
My results, I know it's burning them inside and I can see it in their eyes. I wake up every morning and I'm like, I'm taking it all. Like, you don't understand. I'm going crazy.
How do you break that negative, limited mindset and open it up?
SubhanAllah, akhi, I was thinking about this earlier.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to another episode of Chai with my Bhai. Today, alhamdulillah, we have a very, very special panel, two amazing guests, and I know you're going to absolutely enjoy this episode, so make sure you stick to the very end. First and foremost, we'll start from the right, we've got Brother Adam. He's a returning face, you guys are very familiar with him. You want to give salam to the people?
You forgot the slogan.
What's the slogan?
Chai my bay.
What's the slogan? Go on, drop it.
Oh, for real?
Go on.
I didn't even know there was a slogan.
Yeah, he has a slogan to it along back.
What's the slogan?
Where we in something Deen Dunya, enhance the Deen and Dunya. Something.
Oh, bro, this guy, bro, he went rogue on me, bro. He went rogue on me, bro. It's supposed to be the slogan.
What?
Sometimes
Bhai means brother,
they
right?
don't.
Yeah, it means
It
bro.
depends on the flow.
I thought it was a pretty.
It was nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I started catching on. I said, okay, they
By the way, that's my
finally
slogan,
found
you
it.
know. It was
Say that again?
built off of the one you
Yeah, yeah,
introduced.
yeah.
But it wasn't the full-winded. This guy put an essay together. I was
Oh,
meant to
did
go for
he?
an essay, yeah.
Bro, my point is I
Mashallah.
started him off. Anyway.
Anyway, give salam to the people.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And of course, we've got a very special guest on my left. We have Brother Muhammad from Al-Andalusi Institute. Give salam to the people. By the time this comes out, the Righteous and Rich will come out, right? Inshallah. So hopefully you guys have seen. If not, no problem. We'll cut this out from the podcast. So in your podcast, alhamdulillah, we discussed many things related to business, related to deen. You also very recently released a video where you went through a lot of life hacks and how to increase productivity, how to target set, how to goal set. Obviously, at the end of the year, usually people are reviewing the year that's gone and planning for the year that's to come. What are some of the key productivity tips, in case anyone hasn't watched the video, that you would say allowed you to reach the goals? Because look, there's a lot to dissect here. The goals you set were very lofty goals, but you still managed to achieve them.
Right.
What would you say were some of the
Just
productivity?
give people context, mention what the goals were just so they can see.
If I'm not mistaken, you
Yeah,
wanted to make
the big headlines, man.
$1 million
$1 million, yeah.
in profit
Profit, yeah.
and finish the Quran up until
12 Jews, yeah. 12 Jews.
juz of the Quran
In 1 year.
in
Yeah.
1 year.
And you achieved it, Alan Barik.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, bifadlillah.
How?
So, well, one thing that I actually didn't mention in there is that, of course, people, they see the big headline, right? Oh, I want to make $1 million a year. And then I saw somebody in the comments say, oh, I swear we're going to get $1 million a year. But people don't understand. They see the glory, but they don't know the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it requires, of course, certain goals require, and big headlines have a long journey before it, and then in 1 year you're able to accomplish something big like that. But I would say that for $1 million, of course, there's been a lot of skills, a lot of ups and downs that had to happen in 4 years for me to get there. And as for the Quran, I wouldn't have been able to do 12 juz in 1 year from scratch and 1 million from scratch like that. So there's definitely, a backstory to that. I would say the main things.
Okay, just to mention that, because I think that's a very important point. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, ma ba'd. The point you mentioned is actually very profound. I remember when I started really taking business very seriously about 12 years ago. I had a mentor who's passed away now, may Allah Azza wa Jalla have mercy on him, I mean. And he was talking to us about setting goals for money. And he said, on your first year of business, don't set $1 million as a goal, or 100,000 as a goal, or 10 million. Like, when you speak to a young entrepreneur, I'm going to make $1 million this year. It doesn't work like that, because although your goals must be lofty, like your goals have to be slightly
Realistic.
out of your reach. Slightly out of your reach. This is actually something that even that guy Andrew Huberman, he talks about. He done a whole podcast on goal setting when he talks about it from like a psychological perspective, that goals that are slightly, that are not even slightly, but they are out of your reach. They challenge you, will drive you more, but it can't be too out of your reach. So reach for the stars, but in your galaxy, not in another galaxy. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Reach for the stars in your galaxy, not another galaxy. So I remember this mentor, rahimahullah ta'ala, what he said is, he said, you know what a way to start is? Say, this year I'm going to double my wealth. I'm going to double my income. So imagine a person only makes £5,000 a year. To say £10,000, I'm going to make in the next year, I'm going to double my wealth. That's a goal that's you just doubled your income in a year. That's a very lofty goal. But it's not outside of this galaxy. Do you understand? Like, you didn't choose $1 million in your, how many years have you been doing business?
16, probably.
So like 7-8 years?
Oh, bro, he's older than 24.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 2016. Sorry,
14 years.
Okay, sorry, I thought you said 2016, sorry. So 14, but that wasn't your goal in your first year.
Yeah,
right?
no doubt.
It was on the 14th year. So
Right.
that's the point that you mean when there's a backstory. Like, there's so much work that you're building, you're compounding. And truth be told, I honestly believe that many of the goals that I've set now that I'm achieving now, I could have achieved a lot earlier had I just had the mindset of, let me not try to reach outside the galaxy, because sometimes things are just a bit too hard to get. They're a bit too hard to actually reach. You
Yeah.
understand? And then it demotivates you. You start back from zero. So I was a very powerful point I just wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I would say I would actually slightly disagree with that quote for depending who. Because I believe that a goal needs to be specific to the point
Yes.
where you need to know what to do every single day, what task
Yes.
to do, and what is the outcome of this task on a bigger scale, like on a yearly scale. What does it mean for me to memorize half a page every day? What does it mean on a yearly basis? Because that way, every day, that task, I know what block of the building I'm putting on.
Yeah.
So if I say double my wealth, a lot of people, to some people it would work, because like me, for example, I already have a running business. Like, for example, last year we were at 750,000. So to get to 1 million is like, you just have to,
1/3 increase.
just do a few things better and that's it. But for someone who's just starting, if you say double my wealth or I will memorize Quran, he will start 1st January, 2nd January, whatever, and he will do things that makes him feel like he's being productive, but you pretty much like walking with you don't know where you're going, you don't know what these stats that you're doing, what is it giving you at the end of the month, what is it giving you at the end of the week, where is it going to bring you at the end of the year. So I believe that goals need to be break down to make them realistic. Like, for example, just this morning I was actually writing down my goals for 2024. So I don't want to say the exact goal, but let's say, for example, if I wanted to memorize, let's say I just say, I'm just going to memorize 15 juz or 10 juz for easy math. The thing is, okay, now I need to know how much I need to memorize on a daily basis for me to get to 10 juz in a realistic routine. So I start breaking it down. Okay, how many pages are left? Okay, divided in 12 month, divided in 4 weeks a month, divided in 7 days a week. Or actually, I have to memorize 3 pages a day. Yeah, I don't think I could do that with the amount of responsibilities I have right now. So actually, let me lower it a little bit. Let me perhaps do 1 page. I know I can do 1 page. So let me see if I do 1 page at the end of the year, how much I'm gonna have. And that's with the Quran, but with anything else, should be the same thing. Like with business, if you want to make 10,000 a month, or you want to make 100,000 this year, you need to first know how you're gonna make that. You need to know how to make at least $100, so you can then do the math to know how much you need to do in terms of output of work, physical work, calling companies, whatever your business is about. So you can say, okay, I need to do this amount per year, per day, in order for me to get this per year. The same thing when I was actually setting goals for my YouTube channel. Since I uploaded a video, I said,
You might as well grow a YouTube channel.
Might as well go crazy. YouTuber time. So I said, okay, so on average, on this past year, we uploaded 17 videos and we got 17,000 subscribers. Okay, so I made the math, and if I wanted to reach 200,000 subscribers at the end of the year, of course the algorithm works a little different.
Yeah,
but I said, okay, so I would have to, and it come out to like 4 videos a week. I said, nah, I can't do that. That's no. So then I said, okay, 200 subscribers, let me go a little lower then. And so I just gave myself a realistic goal that I know I can stick to. Because I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do 1 video a week, and I know I can't. It's not that I can't, but in regards of what I'm doing on a daily basis,
yeah, it will be diminishing returns. You got other things to do, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And more priorities.
So is your point that, okay, cool, come up with a macro goal, which is like the overall goal for the year, but then break it down into monthly, weekly, even daily if you can, and figure out, is that realistic?
Right.
Can I, like, for example, let's just use six figures as an example, right? 6 figures, 100,000 a year, divide that by 12 is about 8.3, I think.
Right.
So you have to ask yourself, can I realistically make £8,333 and 33 pence per month, every month starting from this month? Okay, probably not. Okay, let me tone it down a little bit. Then is that what you mean?
Things compound, though, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. But things, not everything can be divided. Like Quran, mashallah, is very linear thing.
Yeah.
And there's no other variables. But with business, like for example, with our YouTube channel, we noticed. So December was the month where we had the most views. It was this last December was the month with the most views in the entire year. And one of the reasons for that is because obviously we really kind of took a step back. We weren't releasing for like the first half of the day. We weren't even releasing any content. But the thing is, it compounds. So when you release one video, it might get X amount of views, X amount of subscribers. The following month, that video is still getting views in the back end, right? So it's like with business, like let's just say you've got a subscription model. You might get 10 people that signed up this month, and let's just say you're only making like £2,000-3,000 from them. The ones that you retain throughout the course of the year
stay for the following
will
month.
Stay, and then you'll keep adding people on. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like linear like that, you know. That's the beauty with a lot of these goals and skills. Things compound. So look, on a personal level, I'm a very ambitious person. I've always got goals.
MashaAllah, Mubarak. Yeah. That's actually a blessing, akhi.
Yeah.
You know, Ibn al-Jawzi in Sayyid al-Khatir, he says that's min kamal al-aql. From the completion of intellect is to be ambitious.
Yeah, wallah, alhamdulillah. ذلك فضل الله يأتي من يشاء والله alhamdulillah. I'm very, very ambitious. I have to control myself from going into other galaxies. But I don't really write down my goals. That's a mushkil. I've done that in the past, and I found it to be very successful. I actually found it to be very beneficial. But I don't usually I don't know. Like I don't know. Is it a lack of discipline? What is it? And a lot of times, it's because some of the goals that I have are connected to other variables. For example, business goals are connected to, for example, the team that I have, or whatnot, so on and so forth. So I really, one of the reasons I want to do this podcast, I want us to come with goals live here on camera. Yeah, all of us. I'll hold you to account.
Or live goals, you said.
You know, as in goals, like right now, as in, right. I want to do this. I actually want to do this thing that you did. I like that concept. At the beginning of the year, I'm going to set myself a goal. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I find when I've done that in the past, it hasn't worked. Walillah alhamd, every goal that I have, I always achieve. Any goal, I always achieve.
No,
but never on time. That's the only mushkil. Never on time. But every single goal, every dua I've ever made, I always got it. Walillah alhamd. I want to get it on time.
No.
So, what are you saying? Now I'm going to make commitments in front of the people.
If you also aspire to be a successful entrepreneur, but don't have an idea of where to start, which business route to go down, then we might be able to help you. At the Umrah Setup 2.0, we've been helping brothers set up their own successful and profitable Umrah companies. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, then click the link below, jump on a call with one of our team to see if this program is the right fit for you. With that said, let's get back into the episode, inshallah.
Well, first of all, The Art of War, right? The book.
Is that a good book? Because I always hear people talk about it. Well, I thought it was overhyped. I never read it. I actually want to.
Is it a good book? I always thought it was a meme because I always see people like they write random quotes and just put The Art of War. Man, right, the
Yeah.
article.
You know, I saw the book once.
That's Sun Tzu guy,
Sun
right?
Tzu, yeah. Is it good? Is it good? Is it good book? Is it worth
It
reading?
is good, yeah.
Okay.
So in there it talks about basically if you don't plan
Plan to fail.
to win, you plan already to fail.
Uh,
So yeah, I mean, just plan. So planning is one thing, but the thing is being like there is an actual being analytical about it and being able to track it down to how much input do I have to put in order to get this amount of output. Like being that specific with whether it's numbers, whether it might be, that's what really gets you to
that makes sense.
where you want to be, because then it's only about doing what you say you was gonna do.
Yeah.
If you want to do 10 Jews in a year and you have to memorize a page a day, just memorize a page a day. That's all it takes.
You're right.
So
you know the mushkila I have? You have it as well. Tell me if I'm wrong. Lack of focus.
he puts you on like throw you under the bus.
Focus.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, I
Wallahi,
would
you know,
take on other
subhanallah.
things and go on.
Literally, I sent it to my students the other day.
Even while I'm doing a task, I'll lose focus and start another task.
The difference, you have a mother when it comes to this.
So-
I'm in a different
you're
galaxy.
in a
I'm in a different dimension.
Yeah.
Have you heard about they put together, I think it was Rockefeller, Carnegie, and
The rich families.
the big
Families.
guys in the world, right? In terms of
Rothschilds,
wealth. And they asked them in separate moments without none of them knowing the answer of the other one. They asked him, what do you think has helped you get where you are at? Guess what they said?
Focus.
Crazy, wallah.
Now check this out. Now let me find it, because I sent it to my students the other day. SubhanAllah, a sister said, this made me cry. So it was very deep. I sent a 15-minute audio, and it was a qawl by Ibn al-Jawzi. He was talking about different basically nasa'ih when it comes to seeking knowledge. And one thing that I've realized is that scholars, when they talk about seeking knowledge, those are things that you can use in your life for anything else.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they only talk about knowledge because that's all they are chasing like that.
And that's the greatest thing to chase.
No. So he said,
Profound.
I'm not gonna lie, me personally, I've noticed that because I've took time out, like Medina and stuff, and studied. I noticed the good characteristics, the good habits that we built or achieved, or if I've seen other people have that, I noticed you could literally put it towards anything in life.
Was anything in life?
Yeah.
And
Even knowledge, say, look, like, have multiple teachers.
yeah.
Have a mentor. Don't study by yourself in the books.
Yeah.
Have a mentor. Have a teacher with you.
100%.
Do it in the mornings.
And that's one of the things I saw about his video is that, like so much stuff that you read in personal development books, these lot try to work it out based on their own efforts, and they get it right, they get it wrong. If you take the spirit of the Quran and the Sunnah and the Hadith of the Prophet that encourage towards good and productivity, bro, so much khair comes out. Like the Hadith, احرص على ما ينفعك. Strive towards that which benefits you. احرص على ما ينفعك واستعين بالله, seek help from Allah Azza wa Jalla. ولا تعجز, and don't give up. Remember Ustad Tim Humble, like something powerful. This hadith is the pinnacle of productivity. Work hard for that which benefits you. Seek help from Allah and don't give up. If you apply these three things, bro, you'll be productive.
And I feel like maybe a lot of people might take this out of context, like the fact that, okay, why are you guys talking about goals? Why are you guys talking about dunya orientated?
No, I mean religious.
No, I'm saying people, they could assume it like that, but one thing, yeah, it's a fact, it's a fact. Because it's
You're a fool, bro. I have to keep it real. If you that's foolish.
I got it now.
تفضل.
أكمل.
Yeah, تفضل. Go ahead.
سبحان الله. Ibn al-Jawzi, he says جمع الهم, يتكلم عن جمع الهم فقط. يعني he's talking about جمع الهم, focus basically. So جمع is like collecting, and ham is like being, or your interest.
Your focus, yeah.
So he says أيها المتفقه. So he says جمع الهم لا ريب أن طاعة الله تفتقر إلى جمع الهم. Just طاعة الله, just worshiping Allah, it requires focus. And then he says وأن شتت الهم من أكبر المعقوبات عن طلب العلم. That having shattat, having so many responsibilities, things to think about, that's from the biggest things that will hold you from seeking knowledge, from acquiring knowledge. Then he says, وَمَنْ جَعَلَ الْهُمُومَ هَمًّا وَاحِدًا هَمَّ الْمَعَادِ كَفَاهُ اللَّهُ سَائِرَ هُمُومِهِ. That whoever makes one hum, all his humum, he makes it one hum.
One focus, one interest.
Meaning, Allah Azza wa Jal, it will suffice him for the rest of the humum. And think about it. Your only focus is pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal.
There's delete for that, right? أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِكَافٍ عَبْدًا. Is Allah not enough to suffice?
No.
Is it suffice? وَمَا يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. But fears Allah, Allah will find a way out. وَيَرْزُقْ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. He'll provide from places and ways and avenues that you could never ever imagine.
Allah.
مَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Whoever relies on Allah, Allah is going to be enough for him.
Also the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, when he mentioned مَنْ كَانَتِ الْآخِرَةُ هَمَّهُ. You know, the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned
جَمَعَ اللَّهُ أَمْرَهُ.
Yeah, شَمْلَهُ فِي رِوَايَةٍ. You know, Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to bring his all his affairs together. جَعَلَ اللَّهُ غِنَاهُ فِي قَلْبِهِ. You know, Allah is going to make his heart rich.
You know,
You find usually that when you're on a particular path, everything else will fall in line with that path. You're seeking of knowledge, you're seeking of rizq or business. It's because obviously for the same reasons you want to attain the pleasure of Allah, as you mentioned, and that usually makes it easier for you. Whereas if everything is in different parts, different places, that usually makes it look a lot more difficult.
You know, I think I might have just answered the question that was.
One second. You see how the three wealthy people, they were asked about al-hamza?
Yeah.
As in, what was the main thing? They said focus. قال ابن الجوزي وقيل لأبي حنيفة. Abi Hanifa was asked بما يستعان على حفظ الفقه. What is the main thing that I should use to memorize fiqh? He said قال بجمع الهم. Just focus on that thing. So,
but in this day and age of white noise, where there's noise everywhere.
But if I'm not mistaken, the point he's making is Allah is the ham. Focus on Allah. And everything else will fall into place.
So how do you do that?
But that's what I'm saying. You know, I was literally, I think you've just answered the question I was literally going to ask you. Or maybe not, so you can tell me. I was going to show you my calendar, yeah? Every color you see on this is a different project.
Right.
In my life.
I told you remember that day we met in the studio? I said, I don't know how you be running all these things. You don't remember?
I mean, since then he's cut down a lot. Fast has got down.
I cut down a lot of
Knowledge
stuff.
college is gone.
Just watch him. I will get
even
stressed.
podcasts. All we're doing now is trying to buy him something a new one. That's it.
But I'm saying, no, every color here is a different project, right? So green is my durus with my mashayikh. Anything blue is work. Purple is gym.
No.
Right? Anything dark purple is business education. Anything blue is just business work. Red is meetings, right? This color right here, that's like time in the masjid and whatnot and so on and so forth. Orange is family time. And in my mind, I think to myself,
dang, how many hours you have in a day?
Say that again?
I said, how many hours you got in a day?
Not enough, man. And all the dark grays, all of these charcoal, that's all recording content, like in the studio now. So my point is that there's yellow is lessons that I teach, which I've cut down on a lot, as you can see, right? I'm saying, bro, this right here, I actually was just going to say, bro, like, I think I'm not focused. And is this smashed? But I just clocked the reason why maybe the tawfiq Allah has given me to be able to manage it is because true say, I had to focus on Allah. And ask Allah to not hold us to account, test us with our words, sorry. But that's what we always say. If someone asks you, what do you do? Why do you do what you do, bro? I have one why. To help people come back to the deen of Allah. Even, you know, subhanAllah, Azim, I've tried for a long time to get in shape, to go to the gym. I've never been motivated. But this year I started, and when I actually deeped it. Why am I actually being consistent right now? I actually thought, am I fake? Like, is that really my why? Because the gym thing doesn't have anything to do with it. And I actually remember the reason I shouted out Umar and I said to him, fly over here, bro, and train me, is because I actually was looking at myself one day and I was thinking, you know what, bro? As a Muslim and I'm trying to be a leader in this space, I cannot look like this. Cannot look like this. I cannot represent the deen of Allah as look like a waste man like this. So it was like, as in, I had to be motivated to do the gym. I only got motivated to do the gym when it was in line with my why. You get me? So what's your why?
Subhanallah, I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking that sometimes it gets to a point where, of course, the why should be rida Allah, right? But through the process, you build this feeling of just conquering. It becomes about just proving yourself, proving all your haters. I think about my haters every single day.
Really?
And when I see them, I don't say anything. But my results, I know is burning them inside, and I can see it in their eyes. And I love as well. There was once somebody said they made dua basically for me to not achieve 1 million.
To not achieve?
Yeah.
Shaitan.
Somebody said,
and he's watching right now. In your face.
I would say, it was in a moment of emotion. Alhamdulillah, we.
No, but that dua, come back on him. This fool. You're an absolute fool.
Is it not better to just?
Are you broke?
To just.
You have to make it
blur out the haters. Don't even pay them any attention. You said I think about them every day.
For me, I need competition. I love competition.
Haters aren't really competition.
Look,
they are not. But for me, it's a competition for me to make them feel bad.
That's one of your motivators.
About achieving. That's a big motivation for me.
Question though, and I'm not necessarily against that. I feel like you have to create enemies in your mind. To, like, as in, for example, when I'm in the gym, right? Like, what do you call it? Umar. So when I'm not training intensely enough, like, he talks to me about
mad stuff.
Huh?
Mad stuff.
Yeah, he talks to me about France. He says, because I really hate.
About what?
France, yeah, like. Because the French government, the way they insult the Prophet and whatnot, he mentions the name of their president. I get angry. I get so angry.
Yeah.
But yeah, subhanAllah, I guess when he mentions his name, it rouses me up. So I understand you need to place like enemies or certain things that will spark you. But what's going to happen when you don't have any haters left?
You always have haters.
Yeah, you're right.
But you see, one of my affirmations.
But like I'm saying, you've overshadowed these haters now.
Yeah, but you have an ongoing hater. يا أيها الذين آمنوا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتخذوا إيش الآية سبحان الله. الشيطان is your ongoing hater.
فاتخذوه عدوا.
فاتخذوه عدوا. نعم.
So there's two types of people. There's people that when it comes to motivation, people who are dragged, people who are driven. So you're dragged. You're dragged by the haters.
I think it's a mix of everything. First of all, I wanted to make a clarification because with that brother, we actually fixed things. So I don't want to.
My bad, bro.
I don't want to bring. I don't want to bring things back. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't get attached to when somebody says something to me. That qawl stays with me. Regardless, later on with the person, I fix things up. Khalas, it's fixed. But knowing that shaitan pushed somebody to say something or grab trying to take my money or something, it's just, I just love that motivation, man. I just love that motivation. But it's a mix of a lot of things. There is a why. There is of course rida Allah. There is of course. Like one of the best motivators as well is when people that you are trying to help through your business or whatever, they come to you. This changed this in my life. This taught me Arabic. I just understood this ayah, this whatever. That just motivates you. Then there is of course what you get in life, status as well. People now seeing the deen through you. People who are. So
that makes you want to be better. So they see the best version of the deen. Yeah.
It pushes you. It pushes you to take everything. Type of thing, you know what I mean? That's literally what it is. I wake up every morning. I wake up every morning and I'm taking it all. Like, you don't understand. I'm going crazy. And this is what a lot of people around me don't understand, the level of intensity and extremism in what I do. Even though the thing is good, I'm so intense. You don't understand when I tell you don't knock at my door. Why I'm telling you don't. I literally mean don't knock at my door because it distracts me.
How do you get like that? Because obviously looking at you right now, Allahumma barik, yeah? Allahumma barik, Allahumma barik. Like I notice I don't have that intensity. I can see it oozing out of you right now.
Is that sustainable? Have you done that for a long period of time, or is that?
I get burnt out many times.
Wouldn't that lead to burning out?
Yeah, but once I
No, but
burn out, I just stop.
Like, as in, how would I
Go
develop?
back at it.
So what kind of cycles are you working in? 1 week cycle, 2 week cycle? 3 week cycle,
Nah, I can go for a good month, burn out for 3 days,
and then restart.
take my wife to a resort, come back at it.
Yeah, that's proper though.
Yeah.
So how would you like? How can I get like that? Like, to be honest, that was mad. Like, I seen like that was.
I think it's the
We're like that on
results.
a daily basis. We talk
Am I?
about. Of course.
No, but I can see it like in his
You're-
mind.
like, I can sometimes see that. Like,
Nah, Imran is intense, akhi.
it's very intense.
No,
You
but
see all the memes? What was that meme? That meme I said you know.
Which one?
Got me laughing, akhi.
You got your bread in Bhai.
I didn't even get no context about what's going on. I see what's
It's gay.
So yeah, you guys intense, but I think is when you get to this level of specifics and you set something and you say, I'm gonna get it, and then you get something, that's the dopamine you should be looking for. Because once you get there, you say, dang, I just set this lunch. I said I was gonna make this money, I made double. Now I learned this through the process, or I just set this goal to lose weight. I got to this place, man. Now, you know what? I want to bulk now. I want to get bigger now. It's the dopamine that wants you to accomplish more, better, bigger.
But sometimes don't you feel like chasing dopamine results in just, very short-term thinking, very short-term mindset where, motivation will only get you so far. You get the dopamine, you're like, oh, cool, I want to do it again. But what happens when there's a prolonged period of time where there isn't no dopamine? You're not seeing any immediate results. And that's where I guess discipline.
Yeah, that's why you need to develop a mindset that you tell yourself before you start, I will not stop until it's done. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter. I remember couple months ago, we did a workout, like a 3 days workout. Andrew Tate's coach came to Dubai. We did a 3-day workout. He put us through hell, if in صح تعبير. And he was talking about some crazy reps. Just hearing it, I thought it was just kalam. I thought it was just like, say, 400 burpees. That's 400 burpees. Next thing you know, you complete 400 burpees. Yeah, wait, we are at 387? There's only 13 left? Wow, I actually realized that I can actually do more than I thought I could do. So when you put yourself in situations where you are forced to complete something, because you said to yourself that you are going to complete something, you go through that process and you realize, wow, I thought I could enough complete that.
I'll tell you something mad. There's if you put an ant on a piece of paper and you draw a circle around it in a pen, it will not cross over because it thinks it's trapped. There's a video of a guy online. He keeps drawing a circle around the ant and it can't. It thinks it's trapped. It won't cross over until he makes the circle smaller and smaller until he makes it so small the ant he's got no space except to jump over it. Do you understand? And when the ant realizes that was not actually an obstacle, every time he tries to stop him again, he can't stop him. He can't stop him. Do you understand? To show you that many of us would live life like that. We put ourselves in these constraints and these restraints that don't really exist. And you know when I saw it really was when I'm in the gym, Umar, the PT, the brother who trains me, I noticed that when he says to me, do another, you've got another 3 in you, right? And I'm training at intensity now to failure. Once I've done that 3 and he's seen that I've done it, he says to me, you got another 2. I never get it. I just drop the weights, bro. So I said to him, stop saying that to me now. I said, stop telling me you've got X, and then when I get to there, tell me more. So you just keep pushing me, because the way my mind works is that
you say another 3, I'm like, okay, 3 and I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. Do you understand? Now what he does is, I notice times where he tells me the weight, and because he likes to pump the weight up every time. Ridiculous weights, bro. Ridiculous weights, akhi. He's just, on my first week, bro. And I was like, bro, I can't do it, and I didn't do it. Then he stopped telling me, and I stopped looking. Then, bro, you know what you just lifted, bro? Mind blown, akhi. Do you remember on the was it called tricep? What's this exercise? Tricep extension. Do you remember what I used to do on that? Remember? That it was the max back when we trained, and up until we was doing it for 4 months. You know what he had me do with permission of Allah in the first week? 55, bro.
MashaAllah.
55 with good form. It's on camera. I come baft. That shows
Pull it
you.
out, akhi.
It
Pull
wasn't
the
pounds.
receipts out.
Are you sure it wasn't pounds?
No, Wallah, it's kg.
55 kg.
Wallah, it's kg. Ask him.
That's a lot.
Wallah, it's kg. Ask him.
You got it on camera? Huh? Allah about it.
Wallah,
Check that machine.
but that's what I'm saying. Say that again?
Check the machine.
No, but shall I tell you the mad thing? Then Muhammad Akio strip whips came. The guy's skinnier than me. He was doing the exact weights I was doing.
Definitely check the machine.
MashaAllah.
Trust me, no, that was a different exercise, bro.
Okay.
That's a different exercise now. But he was doing the exact weights.
You know,
I'm doing.
obviously, we don't watch movies anymore, but I remember back in the day, there was a scene from a movie, right, where the guy had to do a death crawl. It was like one of those motivational movies, like Coach Carter, not that, but it was to do with American football, right? And he said to the guy, I want you to do this death crawl, which is basically like you crawl with another guy on your back. So you got a guy on your back and you're crawling, and he goes, I'm going to blindfold you. So he blindfolds him, he goes, keep going. He's just shouting at him, keep going. Every time the guy's asking him, like, where do you think you are? He goes, maybe like 20 yards, 30 yards. The guy almost crossed the whole pitch. He didn't even realize it. And like, everyone's standing inside. The point is, when you don't see in front of you, you can always do more. And one of the things that you mentioned, that people develop this mindset over time. There's a podcast I was listening to. I don't remember what podcast it was, but I remember something he mentioned and it stuck out. And I think it was actually in Diary of a CEO, maybe. The vlog thing. I think it might have been a clip that popped up one day where he had a guy and the guy was saying, your brain is like a muscle and you're training that muscle. Every time you hit the snooze button, every time you say, I'll do it later, you're training yourself. I don't keep my own commitments. Whenever you say, bro, at this time I'm going to do this, and then you change it, you've taught I guess they call it, I don't know what they call it, but we would kind of say nafs, right? You train your nafs.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
say
Forget about all these gurus, all these, they be talking about their brains, they making up
whatever they call it,
terminologies.
but I think we would refer to it as your nafs.
The ulama, they speak about ta'addub al-nafs.
Yes. So if you don't train your nafs to understand that I'm in charge, bro, it will do whatever it wants with you.
That's the thing. You need to get to a point where your nafs is intimidated by you. Not every time you feel a little something, you want to eat this ice cream, that thing. You know, something that you know is not good for you. You go ahead and do it. You are tudallil an-nafs. You are literally spoiling the nafs. So that's what people who learned in a natural way how to do ta'dib an-nafs out of din al-Islam. But for us, even Ibn Jawzi, Ibn al-Qayyim, they always talk about ta'dib an-nafs and forcing them. I think it was even an athar of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu. Now he said that his problem was with his nafs, it was ego. So he would take water to Mecca and just feed people because that's something your nafs doesn't like. So doing things your nafs doesn't like, it will suppress him to the point where now
conquer it.
She is the abda, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's literally what it is.
What do you think about someone who says that, he's scared of making goals, and the reason why he's scared of making goals is because he understands the requirement that it takes, and he knows deep down in himself he could do it, but he knows the requirement, he knows he's capable of doing it, and because he knows, he's scared to make goals. If that makes sense.
No.
Yeah.
I thought I understood halfway, but the last, go on.
You never met someone like that?
No.
I don't understand what you're saying.
He's sitting next to me right now, but I just want to understand.
I do get what you mean, but that's lack of having accomplished anything. When you haven't accomplished anything that you are proud of, not even like, start small. Just say, you know what, this month I'm going to memorize 10 ayahs from the last chapter of the Quran. I'm going to get on a bench press, I'm going to lift. I can do 40 kilograms now, I'm going to do 50. Small goals. Start building. Once you build that, you build that amn and that you feel safe now. You say, oh, I can actually, I can do things like, and you start feeling yourself. You actually need to, and that's what we're talking about, self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's why even Quran teachers, they say start from the back. The short surahs, you're like, oh, I've done one, done another.
Yeah.
If you start from the front, it's like, bro, I'm 15 pages in and I haven't even finished one surah,
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that's what it is, man. You gotta build a stack of things you have accomplished for yourself that for anything else that you look at and you say, I want to do this, I did these other 15 other things. So my nafs knows I can do that. So now you, like, goals don't even look like goals. You just like, what am I going to get this year? What am I about to literally smash? Like, what I'm about to conquer? It's just about deciding what I want to do now. You get to a point where you have accomplished so many things, you just become addicted to just massacre.
Success.
It's not even success. You just want to massacre, bro. Sometimes I set goals for myself.
If this guy had a no context,
bro,
channel,
I get the things, I get the goal, and I forget about it. I'm like, okay, what's next? Like the people look at me. Oh, bro, you got, yeah. Oh, yeah, we got it. Like,
what's next?
Yeah, like khalas, it's not even what I expected to feel once I got it. I need something a little bigger. I need something that takes me, that is harder for me to get, or something like that, you know?
That's good. It actually reminds me of a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه, he said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, من آمن بالله وبرسوله. Whoever believes in Allah and the Messenger, has iman, I should say. وأقام الصلاة, and he establishes the prayer. وصام رمضان, and he fasts the month of Ramadan. He said, كان حقا على الله. He said, it's a right that Allah تبارك وتعالى يدخله الجنة. That Allah تبارك وتعالى enters this individual in الجنة. جاهد في سبيل الله أو جلس في أرضه التي ولد فيه. Or يعني he strives hard, or he doesn't strive hard. He sits in the place he was born. So Mu'adh ibn Jabal, he told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, أفلا نبشر الناس. Should I not tell the people of this hadith? All I have to do is pretty much the 5 pillars of Islam, and I'm going to enter Al-Jannah. Not only am I going to enter Al-Jannah, but it's a haqq that I have on Allah, that He's going to enter me in Al-Jannah. The Prophet ﷺ, his answer was so profound, and this is pretty much the foundation of Al-Himmatul Aliyah. He didn't say yes, nor did he say no. He said, أعد الله, or he mentioned, إن في الجنة 100 درجة. He said, indeed in Al-Jannah, there's 100 levels. أعدها الله, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, He prepared them for those who strive in His sake. And He said, فَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُ اللَّهَ فَاسْأَلُوهُ الْفِرْدَوْسِ فَإِنَّهُ أَوْسَطُ الْجَنَّةِ وَأَعْلَى الْجَنَّةِ. So the ulama, they mentioned that. So, I don't know.
You're going to ask?
Huh?
You're going to ask.
If you're going to ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, ask Him for Al-Firdaus. Why? Because it is the middle level of Jannah or the highest level of Jannah. So it teaches that a Muslim, you know, even though he has this simple opportunity, he shouldn't be complacent with it. But rather, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has 100 levels of Jannah. And the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said that each daraja, each level of Jannah, the space between it, ma bayna as-sama'i wal-ard, is the distance between the earth and the heavens. Each level of Al-Jannah is that same distance. And he's saying He prepared it for those who strive in His sake. So Allah is so profound. You know what I mean? As a Muslim,
there's different levels to this.
And conquer.
How do you develop that?
Because there's levels.
When we did that recent episode on should you make your wife work or allow your wife to work or whatever it was, the brothers in the comments were just like, bro, it's the 21st century, bro. Like, the cost of living is high. What are you talking about? You guys are detached from reality. The wife has to work. You guys are not realistic. And I'm looking at it thinking, bro, I feel sad for you. I feel sorry for you. But so many people have this mindset of, bro, like, I have to make do with what I have. These are the cards that were dealt to me. This is where I was born. I can't help it. I wasn't born in a rich family. How do you break that negative, limited mindset and open it up?
Like Ibn al-Jawzi says, man, is kamalul aql, is literally the completion of intellect. Like, if you don't understand and you cannot look at yourself and your situation right now and feel like, am I even at the peak of what I want to be? It has to do with all this crap that's going on in the world and all their routines and how the testosterone is low, and you need testosterone to be ambitious, actually. So by you not sleeping too much, yeah,
really,
yeah, is one of the biggest like pushers to ambition is testosterone. You don't lift, you eat crap, you don't sleep. You have a wife, you let her just step on your head, talking about you let a wife work. Believe me, you don't have any more authority in the house. Leverage, literally. So all of these different components just makes a man weak in general, man. It's
video games.
Not even that, like, on a serious level. Like, there's one level which is, I'm not, let my wife, let my wife work, it's 21st century. And I was, bro, I'm not going to pray salah in the masjid. Like, you know, when you're actually deep as a man, it's actually a feminine trait to pray at home. Like the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that the best salah for the man is in the masjid, and the best salah for the woman is inside of her house, in her chamber. You understand?
The faridah.
Say that again?
Faridah.
The obligatory prayer. But I'm saying, even like, where's the ambition, my bro? Like, as in, you know, I wake up in the morning sometimes, and the Shafi'iyah, they believe that the strongest view is that the Salatul Jama'ah is a communal obligation, not an individual obligation, right? The Hanbalis, they believe is individual obligation. Very strong khilaf between the two. And even me, like, I'm just leaning on the madhab. So technically speaking, not actually sinning if I don't turn up to pray Fajr in the masjid. I wake up in the morning sometimes. Go on. I'm really tired.
Austin.
I'm just tired, bro. Just tired. I remember the hadith when the Prophet said, Man salla salat subhi. Whoever prays the morning prayer, and the scholars here mentioned the context is jama'ah, and there's reasons that they bring for it. Kana fi dhimmatillah. He is in the protection of Allah the whole day. So, bro, I'm about to go out into the world, akhi. I'm about to go out into the jungle. Do you understand? I'm about to go and try and achieve all these things. And I know the dangers that are in my life. Shayateen are trying to attack from the humans, from the jinn. There's problems. There's so much stress all over. How am I going to go into the day? And I'm actively choosing to not enter the protection of Allah.
There's a riwayah that actually mentions fi jama'atin.
Fi jama'atin, yeah, there's a riwayah, yeah. Zakhraq, ya barakallah fi. And then not to do your dhikr. And for me to start, like for example, like Surah Al-Baqarah. Like when the Prophet said, Iqra'u Surah Al-Baqarah. When it's, I don't want to sit here and be pretentious. I mentioned this party so it could be a reminder to myself, because recently I've even slipped on reciting it regularly. But the Prophet said, Iqra'u Surah Al-Baqarah. Recite Surah Al-Baqarah. فَإِنَّ أَخْذَهَا بَرَكَةً وَتَرْكَهَا حَسْرًا. Recite Surah Al-Baqarah, because if you recite it, you will have barakah. Whatever it is you want in your life, you want for number one, your deen. You don't want your deen to grow and to be vast and to be beneficial. Barakah is that secret ingredients. That's a secret sauce that allows you to benefit from the thing that you have and allows it to grow. Do you understand? Now, barakah is the ability to do more with less. So imagine you want barakah in your wife, in your child, in your wealth, in your health, in everything. And the Prophet didn't tell you what the barakah is in, which means it goes to everything. If you just read Surah Al-Baqarah. And the Prophet said, وَتَرْكَهَا حَسْرًا. Not reading Al-Baqarah is regret. This is regret in what? In everything. Regret in your deen, regret in your iman, regret in your life, in your wife, in your child, in your health, in your business. Regret everywhere, in every shape or form, you're regretful now. Do you understand? So I think to myself, how can I not read that? Absolute fool. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah.
So that's the word of the podcast, huh?
Yeah. And there's people telling me, and the people will tell you, but you want me to read the whole thing? Yes! The Prophet said, read the whole thing. And if you can't read the whole thing, divide it over 2 days, 3 days. Just be consistent with it. Just do something. Do you understand? Like for example, the morning routine that I have, walillah alhamdulillah, it took me 10 years to come up with it. It took me 10 years to perfect this morning routine. And if I don't have this morning routine, the day is not proper. Wake up in the morning, okay? Start the day by saying, Alhamdulillah, alladhi ahyana ba'da ma amatana wa ilayhi nushur. You know why? Because the hadith that you mentioned earlier, when the Prophet said, whoever he wakes up and he makes the akhirah his goal, Allah brings his affairs together and he places richness inside of him. And if he doesn't, the opposite, Allah Azza wa Jal, what he places poverty in front of his eyes and separates his affairs, because he didn't start off chasing the akhirah. So you start off in the morning, Alhamdulillah, you say, all praise thanks to Allah who brought me back to life after I died, وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورِ, and I'm going back to him. You see, that statement is the first thing that comes out of your mouth the moment you wake up. So you start the day with the akhirah. 1, 2, go pray Fajr in the masjid. You're in the dhimma of Allah, you're in the protection of Allah. You sit there, you do your adhkar, you remember Allah Azza wa Jal, recite Quran, and I read. I do my morning reading up until the sun rises, and then you pray. 4 rakat, you can pray 2, but 4 rakat to start al-duha. And a coffee. I'm saying that routine act, it gives you like the fuel that you need, the electricity that you need. Do you understand?
But the routine also starts the night before, right? Because if you don't get the sleep at the right time,
well,
you're not going to be able to wake up in the
yeah,
morning.
you're right. Well, you're fully right.
Like, it starts even the night before. You have to make sure that you sleep on time
You're
and whatnot. I feel like coming back to this issue of why is it that people struggle, and another big thing, I feel like people are scared to take risks in this day and age. They like to follow the status quo. They just want to be in what's safe. Go to school, go to college, get a degree, get a 9 to 5, work a job. Okay, cool. This day and age, you have to get a mortgage. Mortgage is there. Okay, cool. Your wife's gonna have to work because you have to pay off the mortgage. Like, people are scared. So you know what? 1 second. Let me step out of the flow. Let me try and do something different. Because, bro, you can't do the same thing and expect different results. If you want different drastic results, you have to take different drastic action. But people are too scared. It's like, bro, wait, but if I do that, then this happens.
I can't relate to that because I like drama. And I like being spontaneous.
Yeah, and people that are around us are like that as well. But there are many people that aren't.
It's very profound that he mentioned that. And also something that you mentioned as well, Jazakallah khair, Shaykh Muhammad. It's like Ibn Qayyim, he mentions it. It's a character thing. Having high aspirations, having this drive, because when you seen he was talking, you could see it. It's embodied.
You're saying it's not something you can train.
No, obviously, like characters breaking into two. Number one, it's either Allah Azza wa Jalla has given that to you, or number two, it's something that you need to develop.
Yeah.
And Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, he mentioned man alat himmatuhu, whoever has lofty ambitions, wa khashi'at nafsuhu, and he has taqwa, اتصف بكل خلق جميل. He mentioned that the one who has high aspirations and has taqwa, he says he is described with every good characteristic. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah mentioned that it's a characteristic. So something that can be developed, which goes back to that question that I was asking you, what happened if this person fears making goals because he knows what it requires? Tadarruj yani. You just do it slow. So for the person who's scared...
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Hmm?
That again.
Yeah, like achieve one goal, then achieve the next one.
Yeah, so because he was mentioning right now that people they're scared. They don't want to go against status quo. They're comfortable, so to speak, to 9 to 5 and secure. So how does one get out of that, and how does one achieve loftiness?
So one thing that I've just started to implement in my life and in our company, and I only started implementing this after I was forced to realize this was one of the most productive and beneficial things that helped me in my life, even though I tried to do the complete opposite. Just every week, just do a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. The 1%.
Yeah, the 1%. Like, my thing right now is, I've always, when COVID came, as someone that memorized the Quran in COVID, you know what I did in the first 3 months? First 2.5 months, I memorized 5.5 juz. You know what I did for a whole year? I didn't memorize a single page. After that, I memorized 5 juz in 2.5 months. Wallah, you know what the ulama they mentioned? We tried to take knowledge all at once, we'll go all at once. Well, I'm living proof of that. I've done it so many times. I've said, okay, this year I'm just going to get this done. Anytime I've tried to do that, it never worked. But when I looked, all of the progresses, they were small, consistent, even if it was inconsistent, but it was small over time. Because what? As the poet said, إِنَّ الْجِبَالَ مِنَ الْحَصَى. The mountain is made from what? Tiny pebbles. Yeah. So every week, you know what we do? Like, for example, because what I would do is I would usually give the team, I say, okay, here are 10 things you guys have got to fix in the next 2 weeks, which, to be honest, they can do. But you know, everyone's different. They get overwhelmed. So now I said, okay, cool. Here's a list of 20 things. I want you to just, for example, the media team, like the guys who are editing and record, you're just going to fix one small, tiny thing every week. And in 20 weeks,
compound.
You're not going to be 20 times better. You're going to be more than 20 times better because it will compound. Each thing will add on to it. So just like one thing better. Like every
to be honest, we see this in the seerah. In the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, in Aisha, we always hear the famous statement, how is the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? But also Aisha radiallahu anha, she was asked about his ibadah, his habits. She said something so profound. She said, "Kana amaluhu dima." He said that his actions were dima. And dima, correct me if I'm wrong, Shaykh Muhammad, you know, the linguistic, mashallah, tabarakallah. But dima is mentioned like, it's like raindrops. Small raindrops that come one after the other. Boom, boom, boom. And small raindrops, they make a rain fall. So it's so profound hearing that the messenger of Allah, Sayyidu Bani Adam, the best human being to walk the face of the earth, that was his actions.
Where's
was
the hadith?
just wrong. I forgot where it's
That doesn't
narrated.
mean
It's Aisha.
consistent.
I thought you was actually gonna mention where the hadith where Aisha said, if the tahrim of khamr was descended all at once,
صح.
everybody would
But
have.
even that.
Gradually,
Even that.
gradually.
Even that.
Break
And
into
even
it.
the hadith أحب الأعمال actually
Yeah.
reported by Aisha, أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وإن قل.
باقي have similar faith, والله. That's what they were
That the
demons.
best,
Yeah,
the
demons,
best
certain
action.
rainfall,
To conclude,
Because the raindrops create, as you
A
said.
whole rainfall.
to conclude,
Mm.
as we're out of time,
Are we out of time?
what's one thing a person that's watching this should implement in their life until the next episode?
Yeah.
So obviously we're in a weekly thing, right? What's one advice you would give that they can implement from today until the next episode? And the next episode, maybe at the beginning we can check on them and say, did you do this thing? What's the one thing you think that would help them improve their life?
Istighfar 100 times a day.
100
Seek
times a day.
forgiveness from Allah with your heart present 100 times a day. And how do you seek forgiveness? Imam al-Awza'i said, you just say astaghfir.
100 times every day for the next 7 days.
But heart conscious. Allah, I'm seeking forgiveness from you.
I was gonna say that because Al-Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah, every time he was asked about something, that was the answer he used to give, and he gave the proof for Surah An-Nur.
No, mention that,
Yeah.
wallah, because I
No, go ahead,
mentioned
go ahead, go ahead.
mention.
I'm gonna mention something else. I'll mention something else.
But
Go
you know why?
ahead.
Because you'll complete the fa'idah.
No, jump on it, jump. That's you. Allah barik.
A guy came to me and said, I'm having trouble with my money. He said, seek forgiveness from Allah. He said, I'm having trouble with children. He said, seek forgiveness from Allah. And he asked him another thing. What was it? He said, seek forgiveness from Allah. And the guy came and said, people came to you with 3 different worldly problems and you told each and every single one of them the same answer. He said, why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. That Allah said that Nuh told his people, if you seek forgiveness from Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah will give you all these things. He'll give you children. Children means that wife, right? He'll give you wealth. He'll give you all these things. In another ayah, Allah tells you get strength, istighfar. I mean,
Barakallahu feek.
yeah.
I would say, just to sum it up, is just be good to your parents.
Good to your parents.
Be at service to your parents.
Because that's not measurable. What's a
It's very
measurable increment?
Because it goes back to ayah. Whatever you think is good, just do it. Whether it's giving them money, whether it's kissing them on the head, whatever you deem is good
Every
to your
day,
parents.
at least do one action that is considered
good to your
good
parents.
to your parents. Barakallahu feek. Muhammad.
Me, I would just say, do what you say you was gonna do, man. Just write something down. You're gonna do that. You know what's good. If you're watching these podcasts, you have some type of intellect. Write it down and don't stop until it's done.
No bad.
Do what you were going to do. And the secret of getting ahead is getting started.
It's like when you went to the sheikh in, I think it was Kuwait, and you guys asked him for advice. He's like, how many times have you guys asked the sheikh for advice? Have you just implemented?
The question was, how do you seek knowledge, Sheikh?
How to seek knowledge.
You've been asked that question many times. If
Remember what they told
if
you
you
last time.
implemented it the first time, you would have already had knowledge.
And on that bombshell, guys, what I would say is, don't forget your morning and your evening adhkar. Every morning, every evening, that will protect you from morning to the evening, evening to the morning. And wallahi, I find the days that I slip up on that, I'll clip the wing mirror of the car somewhere. This will go wrong, that will go wrong, that will go wrong. I realize I forgot my adhkar. But the days you remember, alhamdulillah, things go smooth. With that said, guys, we'll have to conclude there. We'll see you guys on the next episode. If you guys would like Brother Muhammad and Brother Adam back on another episode, then please comment down below, inshallah. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.